from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Wednesday, March 16th. So we have the moon moving into Virgo energy very, very early on in the wee hours of the day. And of course, coming out of the last couple of days with the moon in Leo, we are moving from our heart space up to our head space. Virgo energy is ruled over by Mercury. Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, really does kind of put the squeeze on us to formulate new plans, to formulate new dreams, new processes, to see things from a different perspective. Mercury, as you know, is in Piscean energy, which is very, very dreamy, very imaginative, very creative, but also hella vague, hella wish-washy, and very, very freaking confusing. So now that we're moving into this Virgo energy, we are in the full moon window. We are approaching the full moon that will be direct on Friday. And we are wrapping up the final days of this old calendar. And you best believe that the squeeze is on. So we have 9 different aspects taking place here today. 7 of them involve this moon. Side note, we don't talk about asteroids very often. I try to just keep it with the major planets that most people are familiar with. But today we actually have Pallas and Chiron conjunct in Aries. And this is a renewal of sorts. This is setting us up and preparing us for the new calendar. This is going to give us a newfound strength, a newfound courage. This is identifying within us where it is that we have to be a little bit more fearless, where it is that we have to stand up for ourselves, muster up that courage and bravery in order to move forward. This is essentially going to expose some very deep wounds that we are attempting to heal. It is empowering us in a way that we kind of have to face the darkness in order to turn that into light. And this is a renewed faith, a renewed strength, a renewed focus and mission within our soul, within our spirit. Might not feel like much right now, but again, all of these inner workings are like dials on a radio. And right now we're just trying to dial in that higher frequency, that higher vibration, that higher channel in preparation for the new calendar when we move into Aries season, when the equinox hits. So today we are with the moon in Virgo. Virgo energy is an earth energy ruled over by Mercury. It's a very interesting energy. Whatever it is that we're focused on, the realizations that we have is what we're able to manifest. We take that mental energy, we're able to do something with it here in the physical realm because that's what earth energy is all about. The downside is that we are highly judgmental, overly critical of ourselves. This Virgo energy likes to analyze even the smallest minute details, which although can be a great thing for us to come to some very serious realizations and strategies and plans, if we're not careful and we let that negative narrative that's been coming at us all week trying to prevent us from moving forward and enlightening ourselves, things can get a little bit dark. Things can get a little bit blinded. So you want to pay attention on what's going on in that mental plane and what it is that you allow yourself to focus on. We get off to a good start with the moon bumping into Pluto and Chiron. Now, Pluto, the god of the underworld, really illuminating for us our past pain, our trauma, our past dark experiences in order to illuminate them, show them some light, turn them into some power. And of course, Chiron, the wounded healer, likes to show us where it is that the wounds that we come into this life are very, very open, very sore, very vulnerable, but we also have the wisdom within ourselves, within our experiences in order to actually heal them. The moon in Virgo being highly critical, very judgmental, and very analytical provides us with a beautiful opportunity to shift our perspective, to accept the downfalls in our life, to recognize where it is that we are making some huge strides in healing, not only our emotions, but our inner psyche. We have a new depth of understanding. We recognize where it is that we've been challenged by the darker force energies in order to push us into our power, into our light. We are now having a full spectrum of understanding the life lessons that we've had to go through. Even the darkest hardships are illuminating to us new qualities, new characteristics, and new strengths. The moon does bump into Mars though, and let me tell you, this is likely going to trigger a lot of agitation within us, a lot of irritability. Mars, of course, in Aquarian energy, very kind of frazzled. We're not getting kind of the steady energies, the steady action that we would like. Anytime the moon bumps into Mars, we definitely want to take action on our fields, expressing ourselves, moving forward. And here's the thing, if you go ahead and do that, you're likely going to create a mess for yourself because we're highly anxious at this point. Our nervous systems are really under a lot of pressure. We are not stable in our mental plane nor in our psyche. We are being revealed some aha moments within us on where it is that our heart, our head is not in alignment with one another, and sure as hell is not in alignment with the actions in which we take in our physical realm. And again, this is going to provide us with an opportunity outside of ourselves that we don't have control over. Are we going to flip out? Are we going to project our unstable energies onto other people? Or are we going to act as the observer and see that this situation was created for us to get a grip on our emotions, on our headspace, and recognize where it is that we, although have the desire to take action, where it's best to sit this one out. Mars goes ahead and semi-squares Neptune. This is going to be a little bit of a tension point because a semi-square is a conflict. It is a tension point, but it's happening for good reason. We have to be inspired right now to boss up in our spiritual understanding. Mars, of course, is our willpower, our life force energy, our passion, our desires. We just had a profound understanding of the life lessons in which we are going through, which we are currently going through, and this is going to renew our spirit. Yes, we're going to dive into the darkness because we have some irrational fears that we're creating within ourselves, blocking us, making excuses from actually projecting ourselves forward. Yes, it's going to feel overwhelming. Neptune, of course, in Pisces energy, the escape artist of the zodiac, wants to just escape from the physical reality that we're not able to change here in this physical moment. Now, let me tell you, the caution here is that we are highly likely to position ourselves for self-sabotage, especially if we act it out on our fields with the moon bumping into Mars, projecting our unstable thoughts and shaky type of perceptions out into the world. Now, here's the thing. We have to move into the darkness in order to illuminate it to the light. We're moving into the full moon. The full moon illuminates things that were hidden, illuminates emotions and thoughts and details that we didn't previously see. This is time for us to not take action, but to sit within ourselves and recognize the life lessons that are being created, divinely scripted, in order to push us into our power. This is where we boss up spiritually, we boss up emotionally, where we get our heart and our head on the same page and start strategically thinking about the moves that we can make in order to get in alignment, mind, body, and soul. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Venus. This is likely going to be a disruption to our day coming from a very personal relationship. We're in indecision mode, indecisive mode. We don't know what it is that we want. We don't know what it is that we need. We don't know what it is that we desire. We know that we're attached to the past, even though we want to move away from the past. We know that we're done with certain people, but we haven't cut the cord yet. We know that we should be having these heart-to-heart conversations and really exposing and expressing ourselves. However, we pull away. We're rigid. We're cold. Why? Because we're hella confused. Now, Mercury is going to go ahead and bump into Chiron. This is going to provide us an opportunity to kind of move through our thoughts, get very clear on what's going in, what's coming in and out of our mental plane, in and out of our heart space. This is a recognition of our inner narrative, good, bad, or otherwise. This is a recognition of where it is that we misspoke, misrepresented ourselves, projected our instability, our insecurities, our doubts onto other people. And this is also an opportunity to get our mind right, to heal that narrative, heal our perspective, to open our minds up to doing something different. We have to keep in mind that Mercury is the ruler over this moon energy. We are building towards a full moon in Virgo, which Mercury rules over. Right? Mercury being in Pisces is supposed to illuminate us to enlightenment, spiritual understanding, spiritual awareness. Chiron is the wounded healer. We have some work to do to kind of heal our mind, our thoughts, our narrative, our communication styles. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Chiron right after Mercury bumps into Chiron. This is essentially our heart and our head exposing the wounds, exposing our insecurities, exposing the extreme emotions that we're currently feeling right now in order for the Virgo energy to do a deep dive into analyzing every single freaking detail that contributed to us thinking this way, feeling this way, acting this way. This is, again, a perfect opportunity, a life lesson, a learning lesson, an opportunity for growth. But we have to bring the not so nice parts into our awareness before we can do anything with them. The moon goes ahead and opposes Mercury. So the moon in Virgo is sitting across the table having this confrontation with its own ruler, Mercury. Mercury's in Pisces, where there is no boundaries, where we just want to dream away, where there's, no confines, no details, where everything just kind of wish-washy blends in together. And the moon in Virgo isn't having it. We want to analyze every freaking thought, every emotion. We want to understand it. We need to have a better perspective of what's going on. This is going to illuminate where it is that we're fixated on the old, where it is that the old narrative, the negative narrative, is paralyzing us, where it is that we're bringing up old emotions from old experiences that are so freaking outdated that we realize where it is that we're essentially blocking ourselves. We get some luck though, because the moon goes ahead and trines Uranus. Uranus is the great awakener. The trine is a good energy. This is an aha moment after we sat with ourselves, after we dug deep, after we analyzed the very comings and goings of our emotions, of our thoughts, of our past experiences. This is like, ding, the light comes on. Ding, we had a realization. Ding, we see where it is that we've been blocking ourselves. We see where it is that we can free ourselves, where we need more independence, where we need more freedom. What it is that we want, what it is that we need and desire in our emotional field. This is definitely going to open our minds up, the higher intellect and the lower intellect, channeling in some intuitive insight, some intuitive thoughts into our lower intellect, making sense of it logically and practically, dropping it into the heart space, having that alignment and preparing to take action when the universe provides that kind of support.